We are back, baby. We are fucking back!
Though the greenskin presence had been removed, the land surrounding Ferrinac had not yet recovered from the desolation left behind. A famine gripped the land, and organised bandit forces began to form out of desperation.
Fight for our liege!
As one such bandit group descended upon a small town, the local lord assembled his peasantry and moved to defend their homes.
Charge forth!
Slay them! Blast these lads!
Die, traitor! Fight! Kill! Our lives depend on it!
The poorly equipped peasants were quickly routed, and the town lord cut down. The town was raided, its goods and food stores looted, its people violated, and the bandits moved on to find their next prey.
I saw the Fey Enchantress once. She smiled at me.
The Fey Enchantress heard the cries of those that had fallen victim to these ruthless raiders, and sallied out with a contingent of knights to bring the villains to justice.
Say so! We fighters rail
Lowly farmers and labourers were easy enough prey, but the knights of Bretonnia would prove a much tougher quarry. The bandits attempted to flee, but were corralled by the knights and captured.
Get away!
The Fae marched back to Carcassonne with her new prisoners in tow. Before a statue of the lady, she wept and read the dishonoured men their charges. Their offences were many, but the lady offered them a chance to wash their hands clean. Their prowess with the bow, the weapon that had inflicted such suffering upon their fellow Bretonians, would now be the tool with which they could redeem themselves. A new order would be established, the Penitent Arrows. Under the charge of the Fey Enchantress, the bandits would begin their march to forgiveness.
Our lances are pure! Read this.
The lady had made the first of her great quest known. The armies of Bretonnia had been charged to move south and root out the Skaven from their stronghold of Skavenblight. The Fae had clashed numerous times with the armies of Skavenblight, and knew she must strengthen her forces to combat the depraved ingenuity of the Skaven engineering. The penitent arrows would provide a much-needed boon to their ranged capabilities, whilst heavy polearms would assist in close combat, especially when confronted with the monstrous rat ogres.
My strength and wisdom
The Imperial
are yours.
Jarl Bretonnia had made his own adjustments. Taking inspiration from the gunpowder weapons of his homeland, the first units of Bretonnian Fusiliers were recruited. The native Bretonnians were unsure of this innovation. Surely the lady would look unfavourably on her servants abandoning the use of honourable steel. Only time would tell. As the Knights of Bretonnia took their time to reform their forces, the lizard men of the cult of Sotek made an unexpected push out of Estalia and washed across the lands west of Carcassonne, wiping away the Skaven of Clan Eshin. What business the lizard men had this far from Lustria was not yet known, but for now they had secured the southwestern border of Bretonnia, a small relief as the Fae readied her armies to march south.
I deem your quest worthy.
Sallying forth. For now, yes.
Theodoric de Brion had learned of the lady's great quests and submitted himself entirely to the will of the Fae Enchantress. His lands would be given over to Carcassonne to be used as necessary in support of the Fae and her divinely mandated war.
I will come to your aid.
My strength and wisdom are yours. Guardian of Bretonnia.
You seek the lady?
After marching the length of Estalia, the armies of Bretonnia finally arrived at the border of the Blighted Marshes. They would need to proceed with caution through these tainted lands.
I will grant you this boon.
Very well, if you insist.
Skavenblight was heavily defended. A push on the city itself would be risky. The Fae ordered them to linger outside and bait the Skaven to leave their refuge and meet the Bretonnians in open battle. The decision to wait for the Skaven to leave their defensive position backfired. All they had achieved was allowing time for the Skaven to assemble even more defences, and another large army moved toward the city. The Bretonnians had no choice. They must trust in the will of the lady and advance.
Do you know who I am? Strike them down! For Bretonnia!
Pierre the Pauper laid siege to the city, trapping the defending garrison inside, as the Fae marched on the nearby Skaven army and forced them to retreat. As expected, the retreating Skaven soon turned back and moved to break the siege. The Bretonnians were heavily outnumbered, but retreat was not an option. They would see the lady's will done, or die in the attempt. The vermin tide surged forward. The soldiers of Bretonnia were disturbed to see human mercenaries serving in the Skaven ranks. men had learned to their great cost the devastating power of the Skaven Doom Rocket and packed together, concealed in the woodland. The catapult crew was not so fortunate.
Now you die!
The Fey Enchantress stood in plain sight, making herself a target for the tunneling clan rats.
If we run, we're doomed anyway!
Pierre the Pauper soon arrived on the field with his forces. He and Jarl Bretonnia took to the skies and sought out the Skaven leader, Ikit Claw.
Blessed by the enchant!
Burn them! Yes, yes! Good!
Jarl Bretonnia had great hopes for his Fusiliers as they were put to their first test.
Shameful display!
The penitent arrows would also be put to the test. The Fae would be keeping a close eye on them. She prayed their repentance was sincere.
Send them back! They flee! We run! Should we run?
As the infantry clashed, the mounted knights moved behind the enemy line and crashed into their ranged units.
Hate enemy magics! We breathe, we come! They sweat, we must.
first wave of Skaven drew back, and the Bretonnians moved forward, cutting down any fleeing ratmen they could catch.
We are wavering!
The men formed up just in time to receive the second wave.
Come on, lads! The damsel is for us! Send them back! Our lives depend on it! Come on, lads! Yes! We fight as loyal companions! Should we run? Flee? We fight as real companions!
The Skaven had brought many catapults to bear that presented great risk for the armies of the Lady. The knights turned and charged.
Transformation now! Send them back to their house!
The lady demands blood!
For Bretonnia! For the lady! Them to ruin! For the lady! Step back! Come back! They squirt fear massacre!
The Skaven broke and fled the field, hunted down by the Bretonnian knights. The Fae was pleased with the efforts of her penitent arrows. Their support had proved invaluable to the front lines, and many Skaven lay scattered throughout the field, pierced by holy arrows.
Let's get those bows ready, lads! We got work to do!
Many Skaven had been cut down in the battle, but many more had managed to withdraw and make it safely back to Skavenblight. Nonetheless, the Bretonnians had won a great victory, and the final push on the city could begin.
I go thither!
Slay there!
Faye arrived first at the walls and waited for her allies to catch up. As they waited, the Skaven played their old tricks and tunneled beneath the Bretonnian lines.
Another time.
The reinforcements arrived, and the two armies advanced together.
As long as we draw breath, they will die! They sweat fear! Should we run, please? Our magic's strong. They squirt fear musk. Nick says they run. Smell musk of fear.
The Skaven had been pushed back from the walls, and the fight spilled to the lower ground.
They squirt fear musk. Yes! The Lady's shield protects us from their magic! Now you die! Should we run? Murder! Keep your heads down, men! They're casting spells! Enemy wizards! Spells must appear! They swear you must.
Yes! Sailor! Bretonnia! The council is for us!
The final resistance broke, and Skavenblight had fallen. The plague-ridden capital of the Under Empire had fallen, and the first of the Lady's great quests fulfilled. Overwhelmed by righteous fervour, the armies of Bretonnia eagerly awaited the revelation of the second quest. The tainted city was cleansed, and from this day would assume its former name, the name it once held before tainted by Skaven corruption. Tylos had been reborn. In the border mountains, Miragliano had seized on the opportunity provided by the questing Bretonnians and began to seize Skaven territory. After a brief rest, the armies pressed on and moved toward the Great Mills before the Skaven could recover their strength and jeopardize their efforts. The greedy Tilaean city-state had moved south, arriving at the Great Mills first and seizing control. Their opportunism was considered to be in poor taste by the Fey Enchantress, but she would not lead her armies to war with their fellow man.
I never fail.
A new Skaven host had been spotted moving toward Tylos. The decision was made for Pierre to withdraw back and hold the city, whilst the Fey pressed on into the mountains. As Alexei de Prague patrolled the camp perimeter, a Skaven assassin made an attempt on his life. The Kislevite managed to fend off the assailant, but sustained serious wounds that would take time to heal. For now he would withdraw from the army and convalesce.
Through forest and glade.
The greenskin host had taken up camp outside the caverns of unyielding shadows. The Fae decided to ignore this potential threat for now, and push on to capture the last refuge of Clan Scryer.
I shall go.
The caverns were secured, and the Skaven now rendered homeless. Those that had so recently run amok through Bretonnian lands were now humbled and desperate. The news then came. The final Skaven host had marched on the Great Mills, and was destroyed by the defending garrison. Absolute victory over Clan Scryer had been achieved. As she awaited communion with the Lady to learn of the next great quest, the Fae marched out to deal with the menacing greenskins lurking nearby.
End them.
Stop!
The lady was pleased with the efforts of her flock, and the second great quest was revealed. The elves of Athel Loren had grown bold, too bold for the lady to ignore. Their armies had marched into Bretonnian lands and seized control. This affront could not be tolerated. The soldiers of Bretonnia would liberate all lands occupied by the elves of Athel Loren, before making way to their sacred forest itself, rooting out every last elf, and putting the Bastion of Insolence to the torch.
For the glades!
Alexei had recovered from his wounds and made his way to rejoin the Fey Enchantress as she moved to deliver war to the Wood Elves.
Going first.
Yes.
Defender of the weak. Very well, for the lady.
Protector of the realm. If the lady wills it.
The first strike would fall upon Ironspike in the eastern Iranas. Once the settlement was secured, they would continue east and emerge south of Summersfall Fort. From there, they would push into Athel Loren and wage their holy war. At long last, Tancred de Quenelles would have his revenge. He marshalled a new army, with which he would reclaim his lost lands.
Death to the enemy!
The elves of Towson were caught unprepared as Pierre the Pauper bore down on them with his army.
For the Lady Ariel!
The news then came. The final Skaven host had marched on the Great Mills and was destroyed by the The news then came. The final Skaven host had marched on the Great Mills and been destroyed by the Flacken. The news then came. The final Skaven host had marched on the Great Mills and been destroyed by the Miragliano Garrus, and fuck off.